Hey guys, Sean Bougie, surplusfundsriches.net, and today we're going to talk about the state that makes the biggest effort at hiding surplus funds from the people that are due the money. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment where there's a state that has billions and billions of dollars of surplus funds, and that is just what they're holding. This state actually holds the money in perpetuity forever. You can make a claim hypothetically forever, okay? Now, having said that, the law that they have, the statute they have, is that they only have to keep 5% of those funds in arrears, because that's how small the number of claims are on this particular type of fund, okay? Only 5%. And we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. And that's only 5% of what could be claimed. That's not just surplus, that's additional funds, additional monies, tax sales, mortgage overages, tax overages, mortgage overages, any kind of unclaimed funds. However, that is an insane amount of money. Okay, we're talking about, when you think about it, the reality is when you multiply that out, we're talking about trillions of dollars. No kidding. That's where people miss it. These guys telling you, oh, it's billions. No, it's in some states where there's an in perpetuity clause where it's forever can be claimed. That's trillions of dollars. This state, right before the 2008 crash, real estate crash and stock market crash, this state, the governor said, you know what? We've got all this money in that fund. We're only making a few percentage points on interest. Why don't we put this money in the stock market? This money that isn't ours, that we are supposed to be stewards of, custodians of, let's put it in the stock market and get a better return. And you know what? Let's use my buddy, his firm, to put it in the stock market. Got it passed. 2008 rolled around. Lost what, 40, 60% of the value of that fund? Now, they're no longer in compliance. In other words, they're supposed to have 5% of unclaimed funds in that particular category set aside. They don't. They have like 3. Now, if it was you or I, we would tighten our belt and start eating ramen, right? We would put off the vacation. We would make sure we got back up to the savings point where we felt comfortable. Especially if we had made a rule for ourselves. Nope. This is what that state does. They take the report that contains overages on it that's held by the county. They tell all the counties, that's confidential now. That is completely in the face of all sunshine laws, all Freedom of Information Act laws. It's confidential. Don't give this out. So you can't get a list on the county level in that state anymore. Now, the money is sent to the state. You can't request a list straight from the state. Well, you can, but if you get it, they've taken all of the case numbers that would give you a reference. They've taken all that out and assigned an arbitrary number. No reason, just, we feel like doing that. It's at the state now, so we'll change the case number. Then they say, oh, well, you know what? We'll give you a different list, but it's going to be a list of the monies that have been sent to the state. So now you can still get that list. We're not going to tell anybody it's there, but you can get that list, and then you can work on these deals. If you're a finder, and you have a private investigator's license, and you're willing to take 10%. Okay. By the way, our system gets around finder caps. But now keep all that in mind, right? We've got this changing the case numbers, making a report confidential. Now you can get a report, but it's already been sent to the state. So what happens? Let's say you do get that report. And let's say you make a claim. You still have to motion at the county level. There's more to this too, by the way. Wait to hear the rest of this. You still make a motion at the county level, and the county gets a hold of the state. And the state says, oh, you granted that? That's fine. We'll send you a check. 9 to 10 months later. They sit on it. I kid you not. They delay returning money that does not belong to them. Doesn't belong to them. They delay sending back money to people that, granted, look, they didn't pay their bill, right? They didn't pay their taxes, so they didn't pay their mortgage. I get that. But it's sold for more money than the debt, and they delay sending it back. Now let's take it a step further. Is this money visible, since the state holds it? Is it visible on the state treasurer's website? No. Their reason? Oh, well, because it could belong to someone else. Because it could belong to someone else. There could be a creditor with a prior claim to this money. We're not going to pay this out. I mean, we're not going to put it on the list. Because that would be misrepresenting it. It might not be due to them. So we're not going to even tell them there's a shot at the money. Now compare that to other states. You got states that easily give you lists online, or if you request. You've got states such as New Jersey where you make a claim and you pay them, I think it's about $100, and they check the title for you to see if you do the money, and they still post the money up there. You've got other states that are hiding money, but this state I'm talking about, it's the worst state as far as blatantly trying to rip people off. Think about that. Think about that the next time you wonder if this is a good business, if this is a good niche, if you really are wearing the white hat. Think about that.